You've been listening in on proceedings since this hearing got underway a couple of hours ago where you are. This is, of course, the first time that Abdeslam has appeared in public and in court. Has he been cooperating?
Well, it hasn't been him as of yet who has been interrogated, but so far it doesn't look as promising as one would hope. When that trial got underway at 9:15 sharp this morning here in Brussels, he refused to look very cooperative because when asked by the President of the Chamber whether or not he could stand up in order to just to have a random or a normal ID check, he refused to do so and communicated that he would not be responding any questions. Now, he was escorted in by a number of heavily armed undercover policemen, and he also asked that he not to be photographed or filmed by the press, who the President of the Chamber then asked the press, of course, to respect. But that means we haven't been able to get a full glimpse of Salah Abdeslam himself, but just his back profile and his side profile when he turns to speak, for example, to his lawyer, Sven Marie. And he's physically changed a lot since that man we saw in a lot of images back in March 2016, where he was clean shaven and had short hair. Today he's got much longer hair and a much longer, coarser beard as well. But all eyes will be on him, of course, a little bit later in the day when he is questioned to see does he break his silence, because of course he's been interrogated some 5 times since being in prison in France, and on all those times he has exercised his right to remain silent, something that, according to the President of the court here, Luc Enard, is his fundamental right and should of course be protected. But that's not what the victims' associations here are hoping that he will do today. They're hoping to get some answers and some clarity, and of course to join the spider's web of this terrorist cell, and to find out more about the attacks, of course, that took place in both Paris and in Brussels.
I just want to just give our viewers an update on what we know so far. The latest news wires dropping here in the France 24 newsroom say the Paris suspect Abdeslam has been quoted as saying that silence doesn't make him a criminal. That's latest from the courtroom there where you are, Maeve, in Brussels. But we should, of course, just remind our viewers that Abdeslam is in fact on trial for events that took place in Brussels. But this, of course, is somewhat linked to those deadly attacks in Paris back in 2015.
Absolutely. We were told this morning, confirmed by the President of the court here, Luc Enard, that today they would not be discussing neither the Brussels nor Paris attacks, that today's focus would be on an incident that took place in Rue de Dries back on the 15th of March 2016. But of course, it's inevitable that the Brussels attacks and the Paris attacks will be mentioned today and of course during the week of the trial. And so far, during the interrogation of his close ally, Sofiane Harari, already this morning, we did hear that one of the Brussels bombers who was present in Zaventem in the international airport back on the 22nd of March 2016, one of the El Bakraoui brothers, that he did frequent that apartment in Rue de Dries in the Forest district of Brussels a number of times. Now, today's focus is very much on Rue de Dries, a safe house that was discovered by 4 Belgian police and 2 French police when they were just carrying out a normal raid in the afternoon of the 15th of March. They didn't expect to be greeted with an exchange of fire and to then neutralise Mohamed Belkaïd, a 35-year-old man of Algerian origin, and to come across then a Kalashnikov and an IS flag and a book on Salafism and a number of other clues that led them then to finding Salah Abdeslam 3 days later in his home district of Molenbeek on the 18th of March. That's what they found in Rue de Dries, and today we see Salah Abdeslam and Sofiane Harari are on trial for attempted murder with a terrorist context and for possession of firearms. And so far we've heard a lot from Sofiane Harari, who's a 24-year-old man of Tunisian origin who's no residence here in Belgium, and he's been pretty cooperative so far. He's been speaking both in French and in Arabic with the help of a translator. He's been asking all the questions of the judge, a lot of questions regarding his links to the Islamic State, his stay in Syria, his arrival in Europe via the migrant route via Turkey, the island of Lesbos, and then over to Germany, and then Belgium, of course.
Maeve McMahon, our correspondent there in Brussels, thank you very much for that update. Well, staying with